Hello and welcome back to Assorted Beefs, where I talk about anything I want to that doesn't fit into niche tea for any particular reason. Today we're talking about this video. Here's another live Jorts tax. People seem to appreciate that. Hello. That is a weird... Okay. That's how we're sleeping? Sure. So if you haven't seen it, that video was from a tattoo artist on TikTok who goes by the name Spriggs, who was talking about an interaction with a client that they had, I believe, that day. That video is now down, and I didn't see it when it was originally up, and there aren't any complete that I can find re-uploads of the video, but there are enough stitches and clips of it that I get a general sense of what happened. Spriggs was pretty much expressing their general upset and emotional reactions to a mistake that was made in a tattoo that they did for a client. The tattoo was supposed to say "Love conquers all" and have a line through it, and "conquers" was spelled incorrectly. Spriggs said that the client was very, I guess, upset by this and had sworn at them, and I guess was just being disrespectful about the whole thing, and they were very upset. This initially sparked a lot of conversation about, like, whose fault is it, right? Because when you get a tattoo done, a stencil is agreed upon by both the tattoo artist and the person receiving the tattoo. So something like misspellings, things like that, should be things that the client is looking over before they put it on someone's body. And that was, I think, a good amount of the interaction around this, until the client, who is a person by the name of Lili, makes their own video in response. Lili counters a few things that Spriggs said in their video. Now, again, I haven't seen all of Spriggs' original video, so I'm going off of what Lili said was in that video for this part. The main thing being that Lili is denying in any way being, like, rude, being combative, swearing at Spriggs, anything along those lines. Lili does say that they sent a text to a friend with a picture of the misspelled tattoo, referring to Spriggs as a fucking bitch, and that Spriggs looked at Lili's phone and saw that and was reacting to that, but that Lili never said that actually to Spriggs. So I can understand being upset if you saw that, but there is a big difference, in my opinion, between someone sending something shady in their text versus, like, saying it to you. Spriggs allegedly claimed or inferred that Lili asked for a refund, and Lili's like, no, I didn't. My plan was to come back in and have Spriggs fix this in the future, but then they messaged me directly and said they were going to give me a refund, so I said okay. And shows screenshots of Spriggs reaching out about a refund to Lili. However, we don't know if they had a conversation in the store beforehand or not. I'm not sure. Lili overall seemed very confused and frustrated by the fact that they were being portrayed as dealing with something in a much more combative way than they actually were, according to them. But here's the thing that really got bad, because Lili showed the tattoo. And yeah, it's misspelled, and there's, like, a cover-up on there that doesn't look very good, but it is a bad tattoo. Like, it is a really bad tattoo. Seeing that tattoo changed the conversation entirely, because everyone said, what the hell did Spriggs do to your arm? You look like you have been attacked. And then after uploading their original videos, Spriggs blocked Lili everywhere, which Lili wasn't aware of until they started to respond to the video once they saw it. And since Lili is black and Spriggs is white, there's a whole new host of conversation around both the video and the tattoo itself. Because now we're in another situation where a white person has come crying to the internet about how a black person has treated them super mean, and especially a black femme person is being portrayed as unruly, loud, combative, angry, aggressive, when there's nothing really to indicate that in the conversation that Lili was able to show, nor in the way Lili's demeanor is in any of their videos. And I haven't seen anything from Spriggs coming back and saying, no, they really were like this, or doubling down on that side of it. But on top of that, a lot of tattoo artists have come out saying this could be a reflection of Spriggs not knowing how to tattoo black skin, that it requires a much lighter touch than what you might think because of the prevalence of the more intense scarring that can happen with black skin, and that it's kind of a rookie thing to think that because the skin is darker, you have to go deeper to get that same level of pigment. You should not have to do that, is what I'm understanding from the tattoo artist community. But on top of that, there's a lot of interesting conversation also coming out of this around the medical bias against black folks, such as thinking that they can handle pain better or don't feel pain to the same degree as non-black folks, which is asinine. Crutches and Spice, as always, has a very good video talking about this. Please go check that out. I don't believe this was Spriggs' first time doing a tattoo on black skin, so I'm unsure what happened here, but I personally am blown away that that was done to this person, and then Spriggs made the choice to post a video crying and self-victimizing over the spelling dispute, because if that was me, if it had just been misspelled and looked perfect otherwise, I would have been mildly panicked, but okay. If I walked out with a tattoo looking like that, I would be bawling. And the fact that Lila wasn't, and wasn't like kicked out for screaming or like doing anything like that, I think shows that their demeanor is very controlled, and their videos show that as well. I mentioned that before. So to me, unless there's footage or something from the shop showing Lila doing something very out of line, I think this is a case of a person who works in a service industry performing a bad service, becoming defensive and internally emotional about it, and then posting something to garner sympathy to help make them feel better. Obviously, Spriggs was not intentionally trying to call Lila out. They didn't tag them, they didn't mention them or anything along those lines, but it still was not a good move to do. And I understand why Lila was like, hey, what? You know, and was very upset by that. I would be as well. As of now, Spriggs is private, and Lila is looking for a solution to have that covered up and have the tattoo done again somewhere else by a different artist. I hope this is one of those situations where an artist will come and just be like, I'll do it for free because you've been through enough, because I really like it when TikTok is able to do that stuff for people.